Hey food lovers, welcome back to the channel. I am Alari, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to make that perfect Nigerian jollof. If you actually have chills, you can cook jollof rice, but if you don't, why even thinking of cooking jollof in the first place? Just go and soak garri and drink because I'm just joking. Let's get straight into the video. This is a very detailed jollof rice video that anybody can watch, understand, and be able to make the perfect pot of Nigerian jollof. I already did the math. Yours is to just watch this video so you can make your own perfect jollof rice. So to make that perfect pot of jollof, obviously we have to start by creating that perfect jollof pepper mix. So this is jollof rice. It's not the same mix you use for your regular rice and stew that you're going to use for your jollof rice. The base of your jollof is the most important part in making that perfect jollof. I know I'm saying perfect a lot, but just stay with me because I'm going to be showing you how. So this is my already deseeded Tatashe. We're going to be using about 40% of this for our jollof pepper mix. The ratio is going to be in the description because I already did the breakdown for you, so you don't have to stress. For this pot of pepper mix, we're going to be using the frying method. So into hot oil, I went in with curry, I went in with bay leaf, rosemary. I'm going to add thyme also. The reason why we're doing this is to build flavor. When it comes to jollof, you have to be very patient because you want to build flavor, you want to cook with chills, you want to cook with love. So I added all that in to build flavor. I did it on low heat so I wouldn't burn the spices. So I added tomatoes. So I sliced the tomatoes into two because it is big, and I'm adding it first because it releases a lot of water. So adding your tomatoes into your pot. Make sure you are doing this on low heat. As you can see, I am doing this on low heat. The goal is to cook our pepper mix on really low heat. Everything you're doing about jollof, just calm down. When it comes to cooking, just calm down, chill so you can get like that perfect jollof rice. So while this is cooking, I just decided to stay a little bit, and I'll proceed to add in every other thing that needs to go into the pepper mix. In case you missed it, I said I'm going to put the detailed measurement. I can also pop it on screen so you can see, but the detailed explanation on how to come or arrive at the perfect pepper base or mix is going to be in the description. Please check it out so you don't flop your next pot of jollof rice. So I added the deseeded Tatashe. When it comes to Tatashe, make sure like you deseed because you don't want to end up with a bitter mix. The seed in your Tatashe can make your pepper mix, your jollof pepper mix bitter. For the bawa, I do not remove the seed. Some people do, but I don't. It does not change anything. So I added my Scotch bonnet. When it comes to Rodo, please don't do too much. Don't do too much. Unless you want to feed people pepper. When you want to do too much with your onions, because onions makes your jollof rice very, very delicious. Makes your jollof rice very, very sweet. It adds some sweetness to it, so you can't do too much with that one, but don't do too much with Rodo. You don't want to eat your jollof and be like, why is this thing so spicy? So cover that, allow it to cook on really low heat, and after about 20-30 minutes, you should have something like this. Yes, it's going to bring out water, so that's why I said boiling and frying method, because we started by frying first, then this is the result you're going to get. So if you have chills, you can allow it to cool down, but if you have a very good blender or food processor, you can blend straight away. So for me, I blended immediately because I needed to be done with this video immediately. But honestly, if you have a very good blender or food processor, you can blend straight away. And if you are taking it to the market to blend, you can also blend it while it is hot, although some of them might not want you to do that. Also, before I forget, don't forget to take out the bay leaf from this mixture because you don't want to blend with bay leaf. You don't need to do that. So transfer everything into your food processor or blender if that is the case. Proceed to blend this and our pepper mix is ready. After blending, this is what we have. This smooth consistency is what we are looking for. And honestly, when you make your pepper mix like this, you're going to thank me. But let me also thank Diary of a Kitchen Lover, because I learned this method from her page. Normally I would use the boiling straight or roasting method. This was so good and I almost wanted to eat it. The whole house was smelling really good. Pack this up and store in the freezer or use it immediately. Now that we have that perfect jollof base, it's time to make our jollof rice. So into my pan, I went in with a lot of oil, a lot of onions, stirred it very well, and I made sure I was doing that on really low heat. I must have said this a number of times, but when it comes to jollof rice, you need to be patient. You need to do everything on low heat so that this can cook properly and taste well. So I added bay leaf, I added curry, and I proceeded to stir this. Please and please, when it comes to jollof, be patient. For our sachet tomato, we are going to be using Gino Patty Jollof. We're also going to be using Sonia, but you'll see that later in the video. And another tip when it comes to making the perfect jollof rice is, like I said before, be patient. So yeah, we're going to be frying our tomato paste, and this takes a lot of time. To properly fry your tomato paste, use about 10 to 15 if not 20 minutes to fry your tomato paste, depending on the quantity you're trying to fry. So that is why you need to do this on very low heat, because we're going to be frying this. We're going to be frying it so we can take away the sourness of the tomato paste, so it does not affect our overall taste of jollof rice. So I added all my tomato paste into my pot. I made sure that I pressed the knife and got everything out. Then I started stirring. So what you're going to do for the next 10-15 minutes while cooking your jollof, when your tomato paste is already in your pot, is to stir and stir and stir and stir and fry and fry and fry or very low heat. It might look like I am repeating stuffs and all, but please just follow this method and just do the cams. Just do the cams a little bit. Just make sure you're doing the cams. Just calm down. Don't rush. Shoki love your baby. I've heard the Yoruba people say that. Actually, yeah, just be patient. Like, be patient with it. So fry and fry, and once we're done frying, you're actually going to see what the tomato paste looks like. So yeah, keep frying. While our tomato paste is frying, let's proceed to measure out our rice. So for this, I'm using the standard measuring cup, and we're cooking 7 cups of rice, but I'm going to add about half cup for burning sake. One more thing I want to talk about is understanding your rice. If you know your rice, you would know how to go about cooking it. Going back to check on our sachet tomato, you can see there's a clear difference between where we started and where we are. This is where you need your sachet tomato, your tomato paste to be when you want to cook jollof rice, or anytime you're using sachet tomato. Actually, just make sure you fry your sachet tomato properly, like you can see in this video. So the next step is for us to add our special pepper mix. Can somebody clap now? Okay, if you have seen this video this far, you're definitely enjoying the video and hopefully you're learning something new. Please, if you're new here, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you're not new, thank you so much for tuning in one more time. If you're here to like, please kindly like, as this would push my channel to other people and help me grow. Please also leave a comment or a suggestion in the comment box. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So let's get back to our cooking explanation, cruise, tutorial, whatever you want to call it. I just hope you're learning a thing or two in this video. So I covered my pepper mix and allowed to cook on really low heat. Then I opened it up. You can see that the oil is already floating on top. That's an indication that our pepper mix is getting ready for the rice. So I proceeded to add spices. I kept it light, rosemary, curry, paprika, thyme. Just add your spices of choice. I added nutmeg also, and for some people they do add jollof rice seasoning. Is that what it is called? I didn't use that, and usually I do not do that. I don't use, but if that is something you would like, you can also proceed to add that. So cover this and allow to cook while we proceed to go wash our rice and continue our rice talk about understanding your rice and how to get the best of the rice you have at home. So before you cook that jollof rice, make sure the rice you are using is the one that you have cooked before as white rice, so you know how much water it takes, if it is a soggy rice, if it takes little water to cook or it needs a lot of water to cook. I know that most times when people talk about cooking jollof rice online, they tell you all you need is steam, but that might not always be the case if you are cooking a rice that would normally take all the water in the whole world. So if you don't understand your rice, I'm so sorry, you might flop. That's why, okay, for example, this rice I'm using today is short grain rice, and if you're not careful, if you use it for jollof rice, you can end up with a soggy like rice or rice that would break because it's short grain, and if you're turning too much, all the grains are going to break. So that's why I said you need to understand your rice. You really need to do. So wash your rice thoroughly with salt and set aside. As you can see in the video, I also made use of some hot water to wash my rice. Please, if you are using that method, don't leave your rice too long in the hot water. For about 2 to 3 minutes is okay. Wash your rice properly and make sure you run through cold water, then set aside. So back to our pot of pepper mix. I'm going to be seasoning this with Gino pepper chicken seasoning. So I won't be doing too much. I'm just going to add enough as needed, and I'm also going to be adding salt to this. I'm going to stir to combine everything together. If you want to add any other seasoning or spices, you can proceed to do that now, but I won't be doing anything extra. This is enough for me. So now I'm going to proceed to add in my properly washed rice, and I'm going to stir. So if you're using this method, make sure you already have water boiling, because you don't want to go in with cold water into this if you don't want to end up with soggy rice or badly done rice. But if you want to use the other method where you add enough water, allow to boil before going in with your rice, then that is good. But for me, I'm making use of this method. So I stirred my rice properly, and I'm just going to cover it for a bit and allow it to marry the seasoning. But before that, I added my meat stock, and the reason why this meat stock is clear like this is because I sieved it. You don't need all those extra things if you want the color of your jollof to be bright. So we'll cover this for a bit, and make sure you're cooking on low heat. Then go in with a very hot water. We already mentioned that you should have hot water boiling somewhere. So add in your hot water, then take your turning stick and lift your rice from bottom to top. If you notice, I'm not making use of a spoon to stir this because we want to be very careful while we're mixing our jollof rice, especially if you are using short grain rice. if you don't want your rice to break into pieces and you still want to see your grain in full and you don't want any mushy or mushy rice, just do it like this. Then I'm going to cover with foil paper because we're steaming jollof, so we want to trap in every heat we can get. So cover with foil paper just as you can see me do in the video, and allow to cook for about 20 minutes before opening. The rice is not ready yet, so get your turning stick, lift your rice from bottom to top, just as you can see me do in the video. Be careful not to over mix or turn too much because you don't want to break your rice. Repeat this process, and once you're done with that, cover and allow to cook for another 15 minutes or so. Repeat the process until you get a perfectly cooked jollof, and the next thing we're going to do is to smoke the jollof rice. So just create some holes like this in your pot, then add a lot of margarine, not too much, but just add enough into your pot. Then we'll proceed to add onions. Just add onions. You can do more than what I did in this video. And if you don't like onions, you can just skip this process. So add that to it. If you have seen this video this far, thank you very much. I love you so much. Cover that, and at this point you can actually increase the heat because you want to smoke the rice, so you need more heat. So increase the heat for about 5 minutes. Once you're done, your jollof rice is ready, and everybody will love it and love you, and so yeah, your jollof is ready. Do your final stirring, and that is all. You just made the perfect pot of jollof rice. So when you make yours, make sure you send me my own, or I know you can send to me, so just take a picture, send to me, so I can be happy that I told you something and you were able to come out with something good too. So food lovers, I would see you in the next one. So